Karmajam buddhijukta hi phalang tatta manishina janmabandha vinirmukta padam gachanti anamayam. Now, in our last meeting, we were discussing this verse that uh, karmajam, every action, every activities that we are engaged in, it has got a reaction. Any activity, it has got reaction. And that reaction is another bondage for me. Now I am engaged in one action and I am producing another reaction. Now at the present moment I am bounded by one kind of activities and I am producing another kind of activities. Just like in the cinematographic spool, there are hundreds and thousands of pictures. One picture past, another picture present, and another picture is ahead. And the whole picture, when put into the machine, it represents some activities. So we are bound up by nature's law in such a way. Why nature's law? Even in your state laws, we are bound up by so many laws. So this is our position. This is called conditioned stage of life. There is no freedom. The so-called freedom, we declare that I belong to the free nation, I am free. These are all simply mental speculation. There is no freedom. So long I am bound up by the conditions of nature, there is no freedom. Now here is a chance. Lord Krishna says that karmajang buddhijukta. Now, here is an opportunity for you in human form of your life. You have got sufficient intelligence, and the Lord Himself is before you to enlighten your intelligence more and more. Here is the book. This book, what is spoken by Lord Krishna and Krishna, is not different, because the Krishna or the Lord is on the absolute plane. Don't think that Krishna is absent. Krishna is present here. There is a verse in Bhagavad. Tattva tishchami narada jatra gayanti madhvakta. Yeah, my dear Narad, Narad is a great devotee. Perhaps you who are accustomed with Vedic literatures, you have heard the name of Narad. So Narad is a great devotee, and the Lord assures him that don't think that I am living in the kingdom of God or I am living in the heart of a great mystic or somewhere else, people may think. But I am living in that place where my sincere devotees assemble and discuss about myself. So, here we should always understand that if we sincerely and seriously take up the message of the Bhagavad Gita as it is, without any, I mean to say, adulteration. Sometimes it is adulterated because Bhagavad Gita is a very authoritative book and it is popular all over the world. Sometimes people take advantage of this book and present their own theory in an adulterated way. Not to speak of others. I may tell you frankly that in our country, the greatest, I mean to saintly politician, Mahatma Gandhi, he propounded a philosophy of non-violence. Perhaps you know, every one of you, that he propounded non-violence. And he wanted to prove non-violence from Bhagavad Gita. He has got an annotation of Bhagavad Gita and he has tried to prove that Bhagavad Gita, there is proof, non-violence. But actually, Bhagavad Gita is being spoken in the battlefield, where everyone is prepared to start violence simply for a moment, when Arjuna was disturbed in his mind that how can I fight with my relatives and friends and sons and grandsons and so many things, bodily relations, and the Bhagavad Gita was spoken. So, that is a practical thing, that Bhagavad Gita was practically spoken to induce Arjuna to adopt violence. Now, Mahatma Gandhi, his philosophy was non-violence. How could he prove that Bhagavad Gita gives evidence of non-violence? No. Therefore, anyone, Mahatma Gandhi or anyone, who has got his own ulterior motive to prove it from the topics of Bhagavad Gita, he must adulterate it. But that is not the process of reading Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita, how to read Bhagavad Gita, that is stated in the Bhagavad Gita. When we come to the 4th chapter, we'll know. So anyway, apart from the process of, but rest assured, we are speaking here of the Bhagavad Gita as it is. We are not going to add in it something for fulfilling our own philosophy, our own points of view. Now here Lord Krishna says that if you want to get rid of this entanglement of, what is that entanglement? Now, Janma Bandha. Janma Bandha. Oh, it is a great entanglement. People do not take it very seriously. Birth. Birth means, as soon as birth only, the one word has been used here, Janma. Janma means birth. The birth means other things. Birth means death. Birth means old age. Birth means disease. Whenever there is birth, the other things are corollary. They will follow. Your birth means a son is born. Oh, you are very glad I have got a son. But if you study it philosophically, no, birth is not, he is not born, death is born. Because the growing of the child means he is dying. It is dying. The dying process. The very day, the very moment the child is born, the dying process begins. So we do not know that it is not birth, it is death. This is called Maya. This is called illusion. That death is born and we are jolly that there is birth of a child. This is called Maya. So everything, from the beginning of our birth, we are illusion. Illusion. And that illusion is so strong that it is very difficult to get out of it. Whole thing is illusion. The birth is illusion, this body is illusion, and the bodily relationship, the country is illusion, the father is illusion, the mother is illusion, the wife is illusion, the children is illusion, everything illusion. Everything illusion. And we are compact in that illusion. We are thinking that we are very much learned and very much advanced, and so many things we are imagining. But as soon as death comes, the actual fact, the beginning of death, then we forget everything. We can forget our country, we forget our relatives, we forget our wife, children, father, mother, everything gone. You see, if it is a fact that I am soul, eternal, then it is a fact also that in my previous life I had my country, I had my children, I had my home, I had my father, I had my everything. But can you remember any of these things, what you were in your previous life? Either human born life or either animal life, you cannot. Death means forgetful. We have forgotten everything. Actually, there is no death for the soul. Just like you are at night, you'll go to sleep. That is a sort of death. And again, you get up in the morning. So death is something like that. Death is sleeping for 7 months, that's all. Without any consciousness, and for 3 months without any consciousness, or say 7 months. Death means forgetfulness, just like at sleep. We forget everything. What I am, where I am sleeping, who I am, what is my identification, everything forgot. Then again, as soon as I rise up in the morning, I remember, I am such and such officer, I am such and such father, such and such husband, and I have got to do such and such things. Everything remembered. But during your sleep, you forget everything. Similarly, death means from the time of your leaving this body and entering into the womb of another mother, and so long another body is not developed, you remain unconscious. And as soon as another body is developed within the womb of the mother and the time is up to come out, then again you remember. So practically, there is no death. Death means changing the body. We have already discussed this point. Now, but that janma, that birth, it is stated here that it is a bondage. Janma bandha. Bandha means bondage. Practically there is similarity. It is called bandha, and in English, band. There is a similarity of sound. Janma bandha. So, this janma, so long your mind will be absorbed in the activities of this material world, you are sure to take birth again. So that activities by intelligence have to be purified in such a way that it will not affect you. It will not affect you. Oh. That is the tactics. Oh. This tactic. So, we should be very serious. We should be serious. That many lives we have passed, but there was no opportunity to get out of this tribulation of birth, death, old age and diseases. Now here is a chance. Here is a chance in the human form of life. So, every intelligent man should take advantage of it, and you can get assistance from these authorized books of Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavad, and also expert advice, knowledge. So we should not miss this opportunity. And then the question is, suppose after quitting this body, the present body, I don't get janma. Then what is happening to me? That is also stated here. Janmabandha vininmukta padam gachanti anamayam. Anamayam, amayam means contamination. Amaya, contamination. So, this contaminated life, as soon as we give up this contaminated life, then our promotion is in the uncontaminated atmosphere, anamayam. Anamayam. Anamayam means Vaikuntha. Vaikuntha means where there is no anxiety. I think about this anxiety we explained to you in our last meeting. So we are getting promotion. We are getting promotion to a life where there is no birth, no death, and no disease, no old age. And that means we come to our normal life. Normally we want. Nobody wants disease. Nobody wants death. Nobody wants old age. Nobody wants to suffer the the miseries of birth. Oh, there are great miseries when you are in the womb of the mother, all tightly packed up and in a bag, suffocated bag. We do not know how did he leave it. And if we put again into that position, it will be very difficult. He cannot live for 3 seconds. But by the arrangement of nature or God, we lived within the womb of our mother for 10 months in that position. But we have forgotten. But just imagine in how much trouble I was. These things are to be thought. That is intelligent thought. Now, here is a chance that you can get rid of all these miseries. The miseries of birth, the miseries of death, the miseries of old age, and miseries of diseases. Now, now we are speaking the synopsis. The Bhagavad Gita, this second chapter is the synopsis, what will be elaborately explained, not very elaborately, but still more clearly it will be explained in later chapters. Now, Bhagavad Gita is the preliminary study of the Srimad Bhagavad, just like introductory study. Now, how we can practically get into such activities which will not bound me, in the reaction. That is explained in the Srimad Bhagavatam that Sabai Pungsa Paro Dharma Jato Bhakti Radho Khaji Ahoitukiya Pratihata Jayatma Suprasidati. Atma Suprasidati. Atma means self. Our present position is that we are not happy. We are always full of anxieties. That is our present position. Now here, just the opposite word is used, that Jaya Atma Suprasidati. If you want actually to make yourself jolly, full of happiness, then you should search out your occupation in such a way that will lead you to the devotional service of the Supreme Lord. Savai Pungsa Paro Dharma. Paro means the highest or the transcendent. We are engaged in some sort of activities. Nobody is free from activities. Even an ant, it is also engaged in activities. And the elephant, ant is the most, according to our vision, the ant is very small and the elephant is very big. But everyone, beginning from the ant up to the elephant, so far our experience is concerned, there are other big animals also. We have not seen, but we can see from the description of the scriptures that there are fishes in the ocean which is called Timingal. So Timingal, and perhaps you know that fish which is called in Sanskrit Timi Matsya or whale fish, very big. It is sometimes 100 feet long. So there are other fishes which is a Timingal. That fish swallows up this fish, this 100 feet long. Now just imagine what must be the length of that fish's body, you see. So in God's creation there are so many wonderful things, we have not seen all, but everyone is engaged in some sort of occupation for livelihood. Nobody is silent. Nobody is silent. According to his nature, modes of nature and position, everyone is busy. Now, the Bhagavad says that Savai Pungsa Paro Dharma, everyone is busy. But when one is busy in such a way that leads to devotional service of the Lord, that busyness, that occupation is the supermost. That occupation is the supermost. Savai Pungsa Paro Dharma. Paro means supermost. And that sort of occupation should be without any cause. Everything is done. Everything is done. So far our duties are concerned. There is a cause. I do this because I want this. So there is a cause and effect. But this sort of business, this sort of occupation, which leads you to the devotional service of the Lord, it has no cause. Ahoituki. It has no cause. Why it has no cause? Just like a lover, or say lover, beloved, set aside, just like mother. A mother loves her child. There is no cause. She does not know why I am loving. Automatically she loves. Similarly, we have got our relationship with the Supreme Consciousness. We are consciousness. That is accepted. Now, there is supreme consciousness also. Just let us have some estimation. What is the supreme consciousness? Now, supreme consciousness is described in the Bhagavad Gita, Jena sarvamidam tatam. The consciousness is distributed throughout your whole body. That we can make an experiment. But this consciousness is not to spread over all the cosmic manifestation. That is also a fact. My consciousness is spread over my body. Your consciousness is spread over your body. I do not know what you are thinking now, and you do not know what I am thinking. Therefore, my consciousness is individual, your consciousness is individual. But there is the super soul who knows what you are thinking and what I am thinking, what he is thinking, everyone thinking. That is super consciousness. So, super consciousness and individual consciousness. So, our relationship, the super consciousness and the individual consciousness is eternal. Eternal. They cannot be, separated. Therefore, my position is just like there is superior one and the inferior one. Inferior one is subordinate to the superior one, and inferior one is to act according to the superior one. Just like it is taught here that Krishna is the super consciousness. He is trying to convince Arjuna that you act according to my direction. Because you are individual consciousness subordinate to me, and I am super consciousness. And in the last phase of Bhagavad Gita, you will see that he summarized, Lord Krishna summarized, the sarva dharman parityajya mam ekang saranam. You just surrender unto me. This is the sum and substance of everything. So, therefore, the conclusion is that the individual consciousness should surrender to the supreme consciousness and act accordingly. That is the position of standing on the conscious plane. That is the position of conscious plane. And Srimad Bhagavad also says, the sabai pungsa paro dharma, the activities, the occupation, the business, that which leads us to that consciousness, that I am subordinate to the supreme consciousness, and let me act according to the supreme consciousness, without any cause, without why I shall act. There is no such question. It is automatic. Automatic. Just like a little son and the mother. The little son is automatically subordinate to the mother. Whatever the mother says, the child acts. The mother is completely dependent. Similarly, as soon as we make our consciousness completely engaged in the service of the supreme consciousness, that is our liberated position. That is our liberated position. And in that liberated position, whatever we do, there is no reaction. That is transcendental position. So what Sri Krishna says here, that karmajam, that any work which you are performing, that is creating some reaction for future enjoyment or suffering. But if you act intelligently, in collaboration with the supreme consciousness, then you will be free from this bondage of birth, death, old age and diseases, and in your next life This is a training period. This life will be a training period. And as soon as you are fully trained up, then the next stage that will be that after giving up this body, you come to my kingdom. Tatta dehang punarjanma naiti mameti kaunte. So this is the whole process. That sort of business which will lead us to the position when we shall be adopted. We shall be adopted with the Supreme Consciousness. Just like this morning I was giving an example. Just like one motor car is passing on in 60 miles speed and a cyclist also going on. If the cyclist catches the motor car, he can also proceed with the same speed, 60 miles speed, without even paddling. Similarly, if we can join our consciousness with the Supreme Consciousness, then our whole life becomes successful. That is the point. Now, how to join it? The religion. This whole worldly religious process is the same, I mean to say, experimental or formulas or rituals, so that one may become adopted with the Supreme Consciousness. Every religion. But if we become attracted by the rituals only or formulas and quarrel on that point, that, oh, my Bible says like this, and I say, no, my Veda says like this. The Muslim says that, no, my Quran says like this, yours is not right. Then we become attached to the rituals only. We forget the right point. The right point is, the whole process is how to dovetail. How to dovetail myself with the Supreme Consciousness. Going to the church, it is not a formality, but the real thing is to elevate myself gradually, to dovetail myself to the Supreme Consciousness of God. That is the real formula. So, Krishna says that karmajang buddhijukta, when we are engaged in such a way, then we get rid of these